All right, thank you for tuning into this episode of Walden Art. Today I'm going to be doing an art review and critique for one of my patrons. Her name is Shauna, and she is creating one of her own comic book that she's going to be doing. So this is penciling artwork that she's done. She's just creating it, and then she contacted me, and she wanted me to review her work. So a little bit about me. My name is Walden Wong, comic book artist for Marvel and DC. You can check out my website. It's waldenwongart.com. And if you're also an aspiring artist or you want me to review your work, you can also check my Patreon page. It's patreon.com/waldenwongart. And over there, there's different tiers that you can subscribe to, so check that out as well. So without further ado, let's take a look at Shauna's work. I reviewed some of her work in the past, so look for some of those videos. This is another page that she's done, so here we go. Alright, this is Shauna's work. It looks like she used her camera and took a photo of it, so some areas are a little bit darker and some areas are lighter. So I'm going to use Photoshop and kind of like adjust it a little bit just to make it not so muddy. Okay, I'm gonna maybe increase the lighting here so we can see the line work a little bit. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so we have your first panel right over here. Let me adjust this to color, image mode, RGB color, and then I'm gonna use a red pen for markups. Okay, so it looks like you have panel 1 here, panel 2 and 3. They're standing at a crosswalk based on the signals that I see here, and then she's looking forward, she's looking left, she's looking right, and then she crosses the street, and then she's the only person crossing. So with the eyes, I think this looks okay. Looking left to right, I do like this panel much better because it's a profile view. Add a little bit of neck here and some of her shoulders. Let's see, her outfit's like this. I'm looking at the reference photo, and then some of her hair on this side, just so you can see a little bit more. You know, just like what you did here. So you have some of her other shoulder over here, and then you added some over here. So do that for the bottom panel as well. I do like that there's 2 eyes. Good job on drawing these eyes. Yeah, those eyes looks really nice. Okay, when you're inking and drawing, see if you can go in there and add some thickness to some of this hair, so it gives it more of a fuller look to the hair. Okay, same with some of these. Just same way you're inking it, just go in there and then add it and make it a little bit thicker. Or if you want to use gray tones, looks like you're doing some gray tones, go in there and maybe add a little bit of gray tones, like over here, like this. I'm using red, but you get the idea. Okay. We're gonna look at the first panel and then the last panel. So here is when we have tangencies and things looks kind of off. Okay, so when I'm looking at this figure right over here, I can see the whole figure there. She's standing there, and it looks like the legs continue, which looks okay, which looks normal. Okay, and then we have her. But her legs are so teeny, which throws me off, a little bit. Okay, and then this person, we have his body here, but then the legs are shifted over towards this side. Okay, so that throws me off. So when I first looked at this and I didn't know what was going on, I thought maybe they're standing at the table. You know, they're standing at, like, for example, like say this is the table or something, and these are the legs, and then this leg is off. The shoes and legs and everything and the gray tones are drawn nicely, but then these are tangencies that you need to watch out for, Shauna. So I would maybe see. I'm gonna move this one closer towards. Let me see. I'm gonna move all of this. Let's see how this looks. Move it over here underneath this person. Like move it on this side. Okay. Maybe like that. Okay, but then that still looks like they're stumpy. They look kind of stumpy. So I'm gonna redraw this just to make it look a little bit better. I'm gonna have, because you have so much empty space here, you can actually add more artwork. And before, I wouldn't change any of the artwork up here. Don't redraw it, Shauna. Just keep what you have on this panel. Add the extra hair over here, and then like do some tones over here. So with comic book art, ever so often when we're working in comics, we'll do something for an editor, and then the editor will want us to like change a certain panel. Instead of erasing that panel, we'll just grab another piece of Bristol board paper and size up that panel and redraw it. Okay, you can even keep some of them. So with this one, I would go in here and kind of increase this curve a little bit, like increase this curve to like this much. Okay, as long as you don't touch her hair, and then redraw this person's leg to his normal height. Here, let me see if I can use some of your work that you've drawn, so it'll be quicker. Okay, so Control T, move this one larger, move it right here. There we go. Okay, maybe not that big. I think his height is maybe like that. Okay, and then her. If you want to make her a little bit taller, you can make her a little bit taller. Okay, I'm going to adjust this. Control T, increase this one a little bit like this, if that's her height. Okay, and then we'll have some of these other people's legs. So this person's leg will be right over here. Make this a little bit bigger, move it to the right a little bit. And then this person's leg, have it extend, whoops, actually I'm just gonna redraw it. Okay, so we have this leg standing on this curve, this leg, I'm gonna erase all of this. Okay, I'm gonna erase all this and redraw it for you. So you have this curve here. Okay, we'll delete that. Delete to white. Okay, so we're gonna have this person's leg right over here. So this is the curve. You have this shoe here. Maybe not that tall, maybe like this. Okay, and then you have her leg right over here. Okay, and then we have this lady's leg, this lady, her feet over here, and then this person's leg right over here, and then some other people in the background, and then her. Let's not have the lips too close to the edge. I would move this one a little bit higher. Okay, so move this one higher, just a little bit, so we can draw a little bit of the lip there, and then you have the panel board over here. Okay, there. So that looks better. So you have like the panel that shows the whole image. Make these steps a little bit wider. Make these little white bars a little bit wider. Okay, these crosswalk section part a little bit wider. So I'm going to use white. Make this part whiter, make this part whiter, make this part whiter, and then this part whiter here, wider, wider, and wider. And then we have the sidewalk. Let me see how you drew your sidewalk. Did you draw like each section of the panel? Good. Yeah. Okay, so maybe add some of the sidewalk texture going to the perspective that it should be going to, and then some of this. Okay. So it draws attention to the sidewalk, and then that she just walked away from there, and that she's the only person crossing. Okay, yeah, and then that's good. Looks like there's a car wheel there. This wheel looks kind of flat over here. Let's just make it. I'm gonna draw it on the side. Let's just make it kind of like this, kind of like more of an oval. Don't give it any angles. Yeah, unless it's a flat car tire. Okay, so when you're drawing car tires over here. I would create a grid line and then make sure these are pointing at the right direction. Okay, this one goes this way and this way. Okay, let me take a look at the quality of the work. Okay, so your vanishing points here, see if you can redraw some of these lines to follow the same vanishing point. You see how this one is going this direction and this one kind of goes a little bit lower? Make sure they're kind of pointing the same direction a little bit. I would use a ruler, find out where the vanishing point is, and then redraw it. So I'm pretty sure you know vanishing points. Maybe I'll do a little quick demo. So vanishing point is if you have one line that goes this way, and then you have this line that goes this way, wherever this meets is your vanishing point. So with this vanishing point, when you draw the other lines, these lines that you draw should follow this vanishing point over here. So this line should follow that vanishing point. So that's just something to keep track of in the future, especially when you're drawing perspective in buildings, and then you have these lines that's going to that same vantage point. The windows, don't do too much on the windows. There's a lot of white sheen over there. I'm going to remove some of those white sheen. Sometimes less is more. Okay, XP, I'm going to erase some of I see why you did that. You're creating a white halo. So this way, that person's black outfit will pop up. Okay, I see what you're doing, Shauna. Smart thinking, but still, I wouldn't add so much. I'm going to show you a way to get around that. So I would make this all dark. Don't put too much black. It looks kind of off when there's too much. Okay, get rid of some of these. Okay. And then when you add some of the white lines, have some come out from this, off the panel on this side. Okay. Now, what do you do when you have black, the black outfit on a black background? So one option, since you're doing gray tones, is instead of using black to paint the windows all black, you can create a gray tone like how you did for some of these buildings, or like some of this gray. So use grays instead of black. If you're using grays, it'll push the character forward a little bit. It'll put that glass background back a little bit. Now, if you wanted to have a black background glass, the other option is to separate it by creating a halo. Now, the halo is a white outline that separates two black areas. So kind of like what you did over here, Shauna, you create a little bit of white space over here. So what I would do is I would go in here and then kind of like go all the way around, and it's okay to go all the way around her head. Okay, so the other option here is you can go outside of her outfit, just create a little bit of a white outline like that. Okay, now we also see that she has her elbow and her and the sleeve, and then you're cross hatching over there. You can use a gel pen, and instead of doing the halo on the outside, you can do the halo on the inside of her outfit. Okay, this is one of the tricks with inking. Not a lot of inkers that I see that's currently doing comic books does this. I'm one of the few that does this. So you can do the halo on the inside. In this case, you don't have to halo all of it. Okay, so I will halo the inside of the jacket like that, halo the side of this, and halo the side of that. And just like that, the whole figure just pops forward. Same with this, you can also halo just the outside, the inside edge of that fabric. Okay. Good. Looks like this person's wearing a beanie. I would make that beanie just a little bit wider. Just a little bit wider over here. Okay. Let me take a look. Nice face, nice gray tones. Yeah, good job. These cylinders that you've drawn over here, they're in the right place, so that looks good. I really like the way you do the gray tones. Yeah, so my suggestion is just to redraw this panel. Don't delete this artwork. Don't erase it. Just draw it on another page, and then when you're ready to print the comic book, just scan the top part of it. Redraw some of this. Scan the top part of it, and then scan the bottom part. Use Photoshop and just piece it together. But otherwise, this is pretty good. I like how you did the eyes, especially what you did on the tones over here, like how it's darker here and then lighter in the center and darker on the right. And then the gray tones on this is pretty nice, especially on the hair. Yeah, I see that you're doing tones on the hair. Let's do that for the hair on these areas too. Okay, so do some tones on the hair because that looks really nice the way you did that. Good job, Shauna. I think you did a good job on this page. So there you have it. That's my art review and critique for Shauna's page, one of the page that she's doing for her own comic book. So I'm looking forward to seeing Shauna's work when the book is published. I know there's still a while to go because she only started drawing a few pages. But so far so good. I really like the gray tone and the drawing of the figures and faces. They look good. So if you're interested in also being one of my being on one of my mentorship tiers on my Patreon, check out my Patreon page. It's patreon.com/WaldenWongArt, and over there's different tiers that you can look at especially the mentorship tier. And if you want to know more about me, my name is Walden Wong. You can check out my website. It's waldenwongart.com. Over there, there's different links and buttons that you can search. So please subscribe to my channel if you have done so already. Hit like, share, and all that fun stuff. And keep on drawing. The more you draw, the better you get. Okay, take care. Be good. Bye-bye.